Okay, Ms. Ford, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Yes, Your Honor. I came here to request to be taken off child support.
All right.
My child is almost 18 right now. I'm still sending cash apps, still taking care of my child, so I'm just confused on how the child is about to be 18. He's in the house with his new fiance, two-parent home right now, well, 2 incomes, and I feel like I just need to be taken off.
All right, so you came to court to ask to be taken off child support because he has a 2-parent income?
And because I do take care of my child.
All right, so...
Meet Ms. Ford, a mother on a mission. She's in court today, not to avoid responsibility, but to ask the court to release her from child support. Her child is nearly 18, living with his father and stepmother in a 2-income household. So why is she still sending money every month? Ms. Ford claims she's still footing the bills, and not just for her son. What's really going on? This case is just heating up.
What's the legal basis that you're asking to be removed from child support?
What am I paying child support for when I can take care of my own child? My child is just currently living with him because I'm on the road due to my business and entertainment and stuff like that. But as far as cash apps and financial responsibility, I do that without him. My child is almost 18, so I don't feel like I need to go through him for everything.
Okay, I understand. And you say he's almost 18, so he's 17?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What grade is he in?
He's a senior, 12th.
He's 17, but he's a senior?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, gotcha.
The judge presses for answers, and Ms. Ford fires back. She's not just a mother, she's a businesswoman on the move. She insists her support is voluntary, not court-mandated. The child lives with his dad for stability, but she's still covering the costs. Is this support or exploitation? The cracks in the system start to show, and this courtroom is far from finished.
When does he graduate?
In May.
All right. Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him?
No, I just feel like he's a user and I'm taking care of him and his new fiance.
How is he a user?
He's still allowing me to pay child support for a kid that I'm providing full support for.
Right, but you understand you're under a court order to pay child support. That's not necessarily something that he's doing. That's what the court did the first time. You understand that, right?
Yes, but I just feel like he could have denied it or even spoke up and told you guys that I'm taking care of the child financially.
Ms. Ford holds nothing back. She accuses her ex of using her for money she says he doesn't need. The judge reminds her this is a legal court order. Ms. Ford insists he should have spoken up and told the court the truth. Is this about justice or payback? The tension is rising, and the judge isn't letting either side off easy.
Why would he do that?
Because he don't need my money. I'm taking care of my own child.
Well, let's play devil's advocate a little bit. Would you have done that for him if the roles were reversed?
Yes, ma'am.
You would have opted not to put him on child support?
If he's already provided financial responsibility, exactly, I wouldn't have done that.
I don't believe that.
Okay. I don't know. I see a lot of things when I'm sitting up here, right? So I can't necessarily say you would have done it or you would not have done it, but people in your certain circumstances, I can't say that I've seen them willingly not put the guy on child support when the roles were reversed.
Would you give up child support if the roles were reversed? Ms. Ford says yes without hesitation. The judge isn't convinced. In a powerful moment, the judge reflects on the system, the patterns, and the pressure. Does fairness go both ways, or is this just another double standard? This case is getting real fast.
So I don't see why that even matters, that you take care of your child, the child lives with him, so you should be paying child support. You'd agree with me, right?
I mean, my child don't have to technically live with him, but you're the judge, so whatever you say.
But he does. I mean, technically, no, he doesn't, but he likes living with his dad, right?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so you wouldn't want to unroot him from living with dad if he likes being over there. No, you agree with me?
I agree.
Okay, all right.
It's all coming to light now. The child chooses to live with dad, and Ms. Ford doesn't deny it. The judge is calm but firm. The child support order is legally sound. Ms. Ford stands her ground. But it's clear that emotion and legality don't always align, and this battle is far from over.
So, is it okay if I move over to him, or are you done telling me everything You want me to know?
Yes, ma'am. With just one thing. So even if I'm not taking completely off, I do feel like it do need to be decreased, especially with his age. He doesn't need childcare or anything of that nature. So I will be requesting a decrease if it can't be just thrown out the court order.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right. Okay, sir. Your son lives with you.
Yes, ma'am.
And how long has he been living with you?
Pretty much all the way up till now, pretty much.
Just when it seems like she's finished, Ms. Ford makes one more request to reduce the payment. The child is older, needs less, and she's still contributing heavily. Will the court listen? Now it's Dad's turn to speak, and what he reveals may change everything.
So even as a child from the time this order was entered?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And is it true what she's saying, she give extra outside of paying child support?
I mean, she does. I mean, it's a little here, a little bit here and there, but, you know.
How much child support are you receiving right now?
It's roughly around, it's probably about 700.
Okay. Who carries health insurance?
I do.
All right. How much is your health insurance?
Between, let's see, it's around, roughly about $350.
For your son only, or does that include the both
That's
of you?
with both of us.
Okay. All right.
Dad finally speaks, and things get muddy. He admits she sends extra cash, but brushes it off as a little here and there. $700? Health insurance, basketball. Who's really paying for what? The numbers are adding up, but someone might not be telling the full story.
So if we split that in half, it's $175 a person, right? Okay. And your son is 17. He's still in high school. He graduates high school in May.
In May.
All right. What other expenses does he have? Like, is he involved in anything extracurricular?
Sports, I mean, he plays basketball, track.
Who pays for basketball?
Me,
Who pays for track?
me as well.
Does mom help out at all with any of those extra expenses?
I mean, no, not really.
Wow.
It's time to follow the paper trail. The son plays basketball and runs track, but who pays for those extras? According to Dad, not her. The judge raises eyebrows. Are her contributions being ignored, or is someone minimizing what she provides? Either way, tension is building fast.
Well, she says she sent Cash App and such.
I mean, that's, here and there, it's here and there. It's not.
But sending extra outside of the $700, that counts for something, right?
Count for some, yeah. I mean, but I feel like, he's with me most of the time, so I feel like, that is needed. So, I mean, that's just my opinion.
Okay. What is her visitation like with your son?
She comes, 2 or 3 times a week, or he'll stay with her 3 times a week, something like that.
Okay.
Cash App becomes the silent witness. Ms. Ford insists she's sending money directly to her son for sneakers, uniforms, and even pizza nights. Dad is skeptical. The judge leans in. Every dollar counts, even outside of court orders. Who's telling the truth and who's avoiding it?
So is that pretty consistent?
Yeah, it's consistent.
All right. So consistently, I'm back over to you.
Thank you.
Consistently, what does your visitation look like?
Anytime that I'm in Dallas, I'm spending time with my child. And he also does not provide any clothing or anything of that nature for him.
He lives with him, so he has to be.
No, ma'am. I drops all that off. I'm a fashion designer and I have my own clothing line. So my child is always provided with clothes and sneakers, everything he needs for basketball, uniforms and stuff. I cover that. When he needs shoes,
He just said he pays for it.
maybe the training, but as far as his equipment and shoes and stuff, my son asks me for the money for that and I send him the Cash App. I even have the proof.
The plot thickens. Ms. Ford says she's dropping off clothes and gear from her fashion line. Dad disagrees, but the judge wants facts, not feelings. The facts are starting to speak for themselves. Who's really covering the son's needs, and what's being left out?
So,
Does she do that?
I'm paying for that stuff. I don't know what she's talking about.
Well, somebody not telling the truth.
ma'am, I have Cash App receipts to show that I send money for uniforms, sneakers, wristbands, anything, movies, any extra activities my son would like to take
call
part
him.
in.
We can call him.
Well, no, we don't want to call him. He's still a child. We don't want to
Yes.
do that. But somebody is not being honest. If she's saying she's sending you money through Cash App, are you putting in the memo line like what it's for?
No, I'm sending it to my son directly.
You're
He has
sending
a
it
bank
to the
account.
child
Yes.
directly.
The judge has had enough. One side says she's paying, the other says he is. The receipts may settle the score. But sending money directly to the son complicates things. Is she bypassing dad or just doing what's right? The courtroom tension is rising.
So maybe you just don't know that she's doing that.
I guess that's the case because I don't know anything about that.
What are you paying for exactly?
As far as, uniforms, his everyday, food, clothes, everything he has to do.
She's
for
saying she
school.
provides all the clothes.
He just buy food sometimes, and I even send Cash App for pizza and stuff like that. So I'm paying for pizza for him and his fiance and my son as well.
So you're doing more,
Exactly.
is what you're saying. On average, with Cash App, how much would you say monthly you're sending your son?
500 minimum.
So what is dad actually paying for? He lists food and housing. Ms. Ford says she's handling everything else, even pizza for the whole household. The judge is listening carefully and starting to see who's truly stepping up.
His sneakers is $200 and better, so I'm buying them 2-3 pair of sneakers a month. Actually, it's probably about $600 a month, ma'am, that I'm sending additional to the child support order.
Okay. And health insurance, is dad only covering that? That's not anything that you're covering?
No, ma'am.
All right. Under your court order, were you ordered to reimburse him for health insurance?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And sir, do you have other children that reside in the home?
Yes, I have 2 others.
Okay. Do you have any other children?
No, ma'am.
Sneakers, clothes, activities mess. Ford says she's sending nearly $600 every month on top of the court-ordered support. The judge takes note. Health insurance isn't her responsibility. Other kids in the household aren't her responsibility either. So why is she paying so much? The court is starting to see the bigger picture.
Here's the deal. Legally, you cannot come off of child support just yet. Reason being is that a child that is the rule is you pay child support for a child up until they turn the age of 18 or until they graduate high school, whichever one happens later. Your son is 17, he's still in high school. He doesn't graduate for another few months. So you will be on child support still until he graduates high school. Do you understand that? That's what the law says, all right?
Now comes the law. The judge lays it out clearly. Until the child is 18 and graduates high school, the support order stays in place. That's the rule. Ms. Ford may not like it, but justice isn't about comfort. What comes next, though, might change the game.
Now, what I do think is very telling is that she is paying more. According to what she said, and you didn't refute it, she is paying more than the $700 that she's giving you monthly. So if all of that is assuming that is true, because you didn't say whether or not it was true or not, I think she should get somewhat of a break on the child support, the monthly obligation at least. Health insurance was never ordered for you to reimburse it to him. So what I'll do is just keep it like it is.
Finally, the judge sides with reason. Ms. Ford has been doing more than asked. The court acknowledges it. Even Dad doesn't deny her contributions. It's a win, but not the one she expected. What comes next changes everything.
Where you just keep maintaining the health insurance, and you didn't file anything to request that anyway, and you didn't file anything requesting any adjustments to the health insurance. So what we'll do is just decrease your child support to $450, because according to your testimony, you're sending roughly about $500 anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
On Cash App. So we'll just reduce your child support obligation to $450, and you'll have to pay that through graduation, which is another, 6 months or so?
Yes,
something
ma'am.
like that. I think that's fair. I think that's what's in your son's best interest.
In a dramatic turn, the court lowers Ms. Ford's child support to $450, a major victory earned through proof, receipts, and truth. The judge praises her effort, her consistency, and her love. 6 more months. That's all, but the emotional weight is real. This isn't quite over.
According to her, she's doing a lot, and she's giving it directly to your son. And unless you have something in writing that can refute that, then I have to assume what she's saying is true.
I have no clue about the Cash App thing. I mean, there was no conversation. I mean, I don't check his Cash App like that.
Well, I would hope you wouldn't have a conversation with your son about that, because it's really kind of inappropriate, you know, for you all to discuss that. But if he's still enrolled in those activities and those activities are still taking place, there has to be some validity to what she's saying if you know that you're not covering that extra.
The judge calls it out. If there's no proof to challenge her story stands. Ms. Ford gave her truth, and it held up. Dad didn't know about the Cash App payments, but ignorance isn't a defense. The scales have shifted, and for once, they're tipping in favor of the one who gives.
So that's what it'll be. Your child support will be reduced to $450.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
I'm tired of taking care of his other kids as well.
Huh?
I'm tired of taking care of his whole household.
You
his
don't
family.
know what, now see, you were starting on a good track. Don't come in here and backslide, okay?
All right, yes,
You do
ma'am.
not know what go on in his house, and quite frankly, it is none of your business. So is there anything further that you have that pertains to your business?
No, ma'am. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Okay, do you have anything further?
I'm just ready for this to be over so I can live happy ever after with my wife and
Well,
my kids.
go ahead and live happy ever after, because you all are dismissed.
Appreciate it.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Justice has been served. Ms. Ford's child support is reduced. Her efforts are acknowledged. The courtroom tension has finally eased. But this wasn't just about money. It was about truth, dignity, and a mother's fight to be seen. As the gavel falls, the lesson is clear. Not every parent with a court order is shirking their duty. Some are doing more than required. If this story moved you, leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe for more real stories about justice and truth. Because behind every case is a human heart.